Hello, everyone. Hector, the editor here. Before we begin the episode, I did want to say that because of just the complexity of this movie, we decided to kind of not do the typical format, which, if you're new, hi. Previous episodes have the typical format. For this episode, we just did just a discussion and adding our fixes here and there, just to kind of get everything. So, if you're ready, this intro will probably be the part that makes the most sense. So, all right, enjoy the episode.
Hello, and welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to good film. I'm your host, Ed. And
I am Ruthie.
I'm Hector.
today we're going to reshoot Primer, a film by Shane Carruth and say that his name? David Sullivan.
Written by Shane Carruth.
Yeah, written, produced by Shane Carruth, and directed.
And starring role.
And he made the music, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I'm pretty sure too. Which I'll start off by saying I really like the music of this movie. We don't usually talk about music. It's pretty good.
You guys don't.
Yeah, we don't. But it really does it really amplifies the feelings of what is transpiring in the movie at that certain moment. It's very, all of it is very it's like an intriguing kind of music going on, like there's a lot of thought going on for the characters, is what at least it made me feel.
Like ambiance? Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, like the ambiance, but the thing is that like it amplifies that like cerebral kind of thing that characters are
I know
going
what
through.
word. Yeah, I know the word you're thinking of.
No.
Big thinky.
Big thinky. Yeah, that's exactly it. 2 words, but
nailed it.
Exactly it.
Hey, no, there's a hyphen.
There's a hyphen.
Yeah,
it's still 2 words.
Thinky. No, the hyphen makes it 1 word.
Spider-Man is 2 words.
I didn't think there was a hyphen. I thought it was just
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
No, there's literally
the original Spider-Man,
respect the hyphen. Yeah, no, it's in every Spider-Man. It's a hyphen. Respect the hyphen.
Purists.
I think that's actually the thing he says in the comics, like respect the hyphen.
All right. So, speaking of hyphens, Primer.
What?
That's the joke. I will try my best, do a very quick synopsis that doesn't skip over major details. I'm going to pull up my graph right here that explains what happens in this movie. And for any of you that have never seen this movie, you'll understand why I need a infographic here.
Can I preface before you start with this preface? Thank you.
What?
If you have not seen this movie, this is one that I highly recommend you see before you listen to us talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's super confusing having watched it. You need to, if you haven't watched it,
experience it for yourself first.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's such a trip.
Pause this. I don't imagine it's going to be too long. Watch the movie. It's only an hour. Come back. Don't worry. We'll wait for you.
Yeah, and it's
starting now.
Like
time is relative.
$3 or $4. Yeah, it's $3 or $4 to rent on Prime. Get that done.
Now you've seen the movie. Good.
Spoilers you will probably ever hear on this movie. So, this movie involves time travel with some very specific rules, like most good time travel movies should have. So the movie starts off with these 4 entrepreneurs: Abe, Aaron, Philip, and what's his name?
Robert.
Starts off with those 4 dudes with entrepreneurs. They have a business. I don't really understand. It's not important what their business is, but they're kind of engineers in a way. Some of them, at least. And Abe accidentally creates a time travel machine. And now for the rules on how this machine works. You have to turn it on at the moment in time you want to travel back to. and you set a 15-minute timer so that your double, when he walks out, is not in the same room when you're there, when you're trying to get into travel. Anyways, or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, there's doubles sometimes involved. So you turn it on, let's say at 8 a.m., and you wait 6 hours until 4 p.m. Then you go back to the box at 6 p.m. and you jump in. And then you have to spend 6 hours in the box to travel 6 hours backwards. And then you climb out of the box at 8 a.m. Now, the weird thing is, when you're walking out at 8 a.m., there is a double of you that has not gotten in the box yet. So there's two of you for 6 hours. And Abe figures this out. And he figures out that there's a time travel machine and he tests it. And then he shows his friend Aaron, who is also an engineer and very smart. They don't reveal this to the other two, and they're kind of sidelined for the rest of the film. And what happens is they plot a scheme to they build two boxes and they plot a scheme to, cheat the stock market with time travel. So they turn on the box, they watch the stock market, they travel back in time, and they buy things that get high and sell them later on. And this goes on without hitch for a while. After that time, so like three timelines in, Aaron finds that Abe made a failsafe box that he turned on before he showed this to Aaron. Aaron doesn't like this. So what he does is he turns off his box, or he creates. It's weird.
He uses the he
Yeah,
uses the failsafe.
yes, he uses a failsafe to go back to the very beginning, turns off Abe's cell's failsafe, and when he did use the failsafe, he actually transported one of the boxes with him. So he
I
turns
think he
off.
made another one that's collapsible.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
they're
made another one that's
recyclable.
collapsible, and he transported that with him.
He didn't turn off the original failsafe because if he did, he wouldn't be able to go back in time.
He
No, no,
switched
no,
the two
no.
of them.
He. Oh, he switched them. I thought.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
he didn't turn it off, or else he wouldn't be able to go back.
Yeah, no, he
Okay.
switched it so that
Yeah.
again,
So
this is why it's
either
confusing.
way, he either turned off the failsafe so that the time where it would travel you back to would be further ahead in time, or he switched them, making think that this new box is Abe's, but it's not. This is so Aaron. If Abe ever used the failsafe, Aaron would have the upper hand, being able to travel back further in time.
You forgot to mention the party and the.
I think he's gonna get to that.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm going kind
My
of
bad.
in a weird thing. Like I'm not following
Okay.
exactly how the movie shows this. I'm just showing what happens in the movie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Ignore me.
So it comes to a point where I think like Aaron's wife's dad finds one of these boxes, and he uses it. And he like starts following Aaron and Abe around, and Abe freaks out. So he goes to use his failsafe, but it's not his failsafe anymore. And when he uses this failsafe, Aaron figures it out, and I think he uses it too. And this is where it gets really weird because now there are two Aarons, and one of them, like the future Aaron, reveals to this present Aaron that he's there, and this messes the timeline so that Aaron in the present time won't use the failsafe. So now there's two Aarons permanently in this timeline. And this is where, like, yeah, after the failsafes get involved, this is where things start being super weird. Aaron's whole plan is that at one point, very, very early on in the movie, uh, right after the failsafes, but before Abe showed the new boxes to Aaron, there was a party, and some ex-boyfriend of I think Aaron's girlfriend or whatever
Abe's girlfriend.
Abe's girlfriend, some ex of Abe's girlfriend brings a gun. Nobody dies, but Aaron says that it could have been resolved better than how it was, and that's literally the only thing he wants to do is make it better, make the resolution better. And he recruits Abe on this job too. So what they have to do is they have to use the failsafe, and since the doubles are going to be there for a very long time and they're going to go to the party, they have to get rid of the doubles by drugging them and making them unconscious for a very long time. And since this is not the first time this happens, they record all these conversations and keep going back in time. And they have the conversations playing in a headphone, and they know exactly what to say and when to say it. Usually things don't go exactly, so the conversation might change slightly, but overall it still works. And they go through their plan to stop the gun thing from being more violent, and they succeed. However, with all this time travel shenanigans, and since the failsafe was involved and they don't want their new doubles to go through this again, they actually tamper with the boxes so they don't work. What this causes is that there are now two Abes in this permanent timeline and three Aarons. One left, the other one's leaving, and there's the other Aaron that's living his normal life without the boxes. Abe says he's going to stay to make sure nothing bad happens. And that's the end of the movie, where it is revealed that Aaron number two is in France or some French-speaking country, trying to build a box the size of a building, is what it seems like. And that's Primer. Now, again, that's what the gist of what happens in the movie. How the movie presents it to you is where it gets confusing.
Because all this big confusing shit happens in like the last 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
And also we don't see like
A good chunk of
we don't
this.
see what's his name? Thomas Granger, the
Mr.
one who
Granger, yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Granger,
the
the one
dad.
who the dad. He's Abe's sister's father.
No,
No, Abe's
girlfriend's father.
Abe's girlfriend's dad.
Abe's girlfriend's dad. That's his sister.
Yeah.
Whoops. Abe's girlfriend's
In
dad.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Abe's girlfriend's dad's father, who we don't see him doing. We just see him show up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, so this movie, and that's the thing I like. It's very small budget, understood. But it's so, and the rules for the time boxes is there's not a lot, but it's very consistent and it works. And that's a thing that I think a lot of time travels movies don't have, where the thing isn't very consistent with how it works. And yeah, for me at least, this is a very realistic kind of thing with how time travel works, because yeah, they don't want to mess the timeline. This is as if there was one timeline kind of thing.
The sacred timeline.
Well, sacred timeline kind of thing. Or no, well, I guess there's multiple timelines in this one. Yeah.
There's multiple timelines. It's just that once it goes by multiverse, it's implied to go by a bit of multiverse theory and like the erasing theory, where once you travel, you can't go back to your original timeline.
Mhm.
But it also there's implications that it might also be erasing the original timeline the timeline just changed.
It won't be exactly your original timeline, but it's pretty darn close, because the conversations, like, if you notice, this is a big spoiler, but in the very beginning of the movie, when Abe goes up to Aaron at the park, Aaron is not listening to NBA draft or anything like that. He's listening to the conversation. That first Aaron you see at the park has already time traveled.
Yeah, he's Aaron number 2, according to a video I watched, trying to re-explain it to myself.
Yep. And it's huge, because you notice that later on. That, like,
I noticed he was listening to it the first time.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I did notice he was listening to it the first time. Like, either this is just weird. My first thought was like, 1 year's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
It might be something,
Well,
might not, and then
well, Abe brings up the headphone and asks him, "What are you listening to, like NBA or something like that?" And he's like, "Yeah," but it's not.
yeah.
And you notice this later on because the same scene plays out again once Abe uses the failsafe. That's when Aaron figures out that he's used the failsafe. Aaron knows everything.
I like how they kept getting shocked so many times that they can't
Shocked?
write their hands.
No. That's not what happened.
Wait, what? Why did they lose
At the very, I had this in my likes.
Yeah.
In my likes. In the explanation video, it says the reason that Abe and Aaron's hands are fucked up, so that their handwriting's messed up. Remember at the beginning of the movie when they first made before they made the time travel thing, and they waved their hands over the magnet thing, and they're like, "Oh, that feels weird."
Yeah.
There,
The hands
that
have
was
time
them.
traveled more.
Yeah, just a little bit more than the rest of them, so they're out of sync with their nervous system.
Oh, that's
Bananas, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, they really thought.
Yeah. That's why their handwriting is messed up by the end of the movie. It's extremely convoluted. And I think the narration, there's a narration in this movie. And I think this one is well done
Same.
because
Yep.
it is played out as one of the errands calling, I think, the Aaron that stays in the timeline without using the time travel, explaining to him what's going on. And I think their narration starts off great to make it understand why the other Aaron isn't speaking because the movie starts off and you hear this recording. It's like, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to talk and you're not going to interrupt and you're going to listen. And that's it. Aaron goes like, there's these little narration bits throughout Aaron explaining to this other Aaron what's going on. And I like how they hide it at first that you're not quite sure who this person is talking. He describes the other two as separate from himself, like these two friends, kind of thing. And in the end of near the end of the movie, you figure out, oh, this is one of the Aarons.
And then he comes. That's like the closest thing to exposition is in that bit where you realize that he's like, and this is where I come in, or go out depending on your perspective.
Yeah. And this is where I start existing. Yeah, kind of. It's really cool. I like that narration, especially since it's one of the Aarons that isn't involved in the story anymore.
This movie has no exposition.
None at all, really, and it's so like it took me like 3 watches when I first saw this movie to understand for the most part what's going on. And when I rewatched it again, once the failsafes start getting involved, that's when I lost track of exactly what's going on. It's a very hard movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I
You
think the narration helps, but I think there needs to be something else when the failsafes start getting involved in the narration to kind of, I don't know, maybe more scenes of showing what's going on, or I hate to say it, but more narration to make sure the other, well, either way, like Aaron, the Aaron in the call knows that the original Aaron will understand what he's saying is the thing, so it doesn't make sense to explain it more. But yeah, if there's any way to clear up, at least for me, the failsafe usage and how that fucks with the timeline, and maybe it is clear and I'm just an idiot, that'd be great.
I mean, it just messes up because you're potentially with the more people time travel, the more likely they are to make changes that the other Aarons and Abes aren't aware of. That's kind of the big deal.
Yeah.
But the butterfly effect, yeah.
Yeah, butterfly effect.
Yeah, and that's why Aaron works, or that's why Aaron like records all these conversations to keep the changes to a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smart.
Although even then, there are some points where it feels like I think it's when Abe is talking with Aaron. The conversation deviates just a little bit, but Aaron's still reciting the lines.
Yeah, And that's it's weird. Aaron's still reciting the lines because he's not paying attention to what Abe is saying. He's just paying attention to what he's listening to, and he knows when to say it. Because Abe said something different, and Aaron responds the same way he did at the beginning of the movie. And Aaron even doesn't pick up on it right away. And it's funny because in they're when they're setting up for the party, they talk to this dude to invite the ex into the party. And in the original, the original recording, Aaron grabs the basketball and swooshes it, and then the dude that he's inviting says something different. And in the scene that we're shown where it happens, Aaron misses, and the dude says something different. But after Aaron says something to invite him, the conversation goes back to normal. Yeah, and also when they're setting up to the party, it seems that sometimes things don't go exactly how Aaron does. So it's implied that this takes several jumps back in time to get it just right.
Yeah.
So there's several times where they go back in time and they have to drug the ones that they're doubles that are going to go to the party and then
Pile
keep
up.
going. Yeah. And a really cool detail that I picked up on is where the movie picks up, Aaron has already time traveled. When we never see the actual original Aaron. Aaron, yeah, I can see why Aaron and Abe would be just like weird. You mentioned this, Ruthie. You would change their names. I would also.
Yep.
So, in one scene in the movie, very very small, Aaron's girlfriend or wife, I think he's the one that's married, right?
Aaron is the one who is married. Abe
Yeah.
is the one who's dating Rachel.
Yes. His wife is talking about like, oh, we need to get an exterminator, and Aaron's like, oh yeah, she thinks there's rats in the attic. Except that's where drugged Aaron is, in the attic, and he's
Yeah.
locked in the
No,
attic.
we got to that part and I'm like, there's someone in the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's drugged Aaron. It's a really cool detail. I like it.
Yeah.
And this movie is filled with those tiny hints that they don't explain to you also. It's just little hints around, and then if you're paying enough attention, it kind of just clicks. And also,
Yeah.
I've seen this movie like 5 times now, and I noticed this on my most recent viewing. Yeah, multiple viewings required if you
Yeah.
want to try and understand the movie to the best of your ability. It doesn't explain everything to you. It's very cerebral, and I love that about
Or
this film.
speedrun hack, you watch videos on YouTube on repeat. Although
Or
those you have to watch 5 or 6 times.
or just read the infographic. There's this one infographic that's really nice.
Someone
Shows
wrote a
9
fucking
timelines.
essay.
Yeah.
Yes, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a minute in the video I saw.
Well, 9
if you,
timelines that are confirmed that happen
Yeah.
in the movie.
well, in the video that I saw, shout out to I'm gonna shout out the person later, but if we assume the minimum amount of timelines, there are 6 Aarons and 5 Bens.
Abe's.
Ben's?
Apes. I renamed him Ben.
In your
Ben.
change?
In my change.
That makes sense.
A and B.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh,
From now on-
that's clever.
From now on, Abe will be Ben because that's actually pretty. Yeah, A and B. You know, they actually did that in their names also. A B A A.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Holy shit. Did you not realize that until you said it out loud?
I figured that out right now.
I was this years old. Seconds old.
Wow. These guys are geniuses. It's
just
this
one
movie
dude who
was
wrote
like
this.
a $7,000 budget, right?
Yeah, $7,000 in the dream is what I call it.
And they made such a good film. Such a good film about time travel that makes sense. Like the time travel makes sense.
You're going through all my likes there, pal.
Yeah. It's such a good film. It's so convoluted though. They do their best to explain it.
Yeah, you can tell the dude was an engineer, or like he was like a computer engineer. You can tell he was because like
Yeah, I think he had a
Shane
software
Carruth
company.
Shane Carruth actually went to school and graduated with an engineering degree.
So yeah, it makes sense. He's like, because I looked up some stuff about this movie, and he has I guess we're not doing the regular
Yeah.
thing today.
No, this is definitely a very discussion movie because of
Yeah,
so many
no,
things
because
that
like
happen.
like I was reading this article and they were talking about the movie and they mentioned like Einstein, like some Einstein theories about that were thrown in this movie, but like just subtly. Like they didn't say it was Einstein, but like if you read Einstein's work, which I don't read any at all or barely, yeah,
Yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, they did and that some of their explanations of how the time machine would work, some of it's like mumbo jumbo, but some of it is true, or like up to what we think would be true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
You know,
What
sorry, I did think of a few things. I just want to go to my
changes?
You fixes.
a few of my
Yeah.
fixes. So you know how sometimes it's hard to tell who's who, and that's the point. I thought of a subtle way to make people pay more attention. If the ties are different, depending on which, I guess I'm going to use Loki terms here, variant it is. Let's say like the first time they time travel, they're wearing red. The second time they're wearing green. So sometimes you'll see like a red and a green because different timelines jumping around. You know, different timelines are
Oh yeah, just those small little
just a
changes.
small detail, and if you pay enough attention, you can catch on to that a little earlier, and it pays off.
He told me that last night because that was my goal of fixing, which I didn't even accomplish, was like trying to coordinate which Aaron is which and which Abe is which. And I got so mad.
Yeah. He was like, "Do you have any ideas?" I'm
Yeah.
like, I thought they're ties," and she just looked at me like, "Real? Why didn't I think?" Like, wow,
Yeah.
like not wow, like wow,
Like,
but
That's
like,
Like big ding
no,
dong
yeah.
energy coming from me.
Holy crap! That would yeah, changing their ties would be actually a very good thing to keep track of them. And how they do it, don't even mention it. Just like that's
yeah,
a thing you
exactly.
have to
Don't
pay
mention it.
attention to. Like
Mm-hmm.
changing their ties so you understand which Aaron is which. That'd be really cool. That the certain errands wear this certain tie,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe in the like the them going through the party and trying to solve it. Uh, they're always wearing different ties because,
The
or
other,
no, they're not. No, because it'd be the same Abe and Aaron. Oh.
well,
Well, you could show like a clip of like Aaron and Abe both wearing a blue tie in one like flash of the party,
Yeah,
and then as it cuts, like because it's a bit of a montage thing, just
yeah.
show them with
What
different ties,
ties?
like they
Yeah.
are like perfecting it.
yeah, and then what was the other thing? Because like they wore the same ties, I think, in one scene or two. That's kind of where I got the
A
idea.
bunch of times.
Yeah, a bunch of times. Yeah. Also,
I
did they
was
use
not.
filters to show that they time travel, like to show that they were in different time parts? Because like I remember one time it was like a really
No,
orange filter.
I noticed that too.
I didn't know if it was just like me overthinking it or if it was just like,
Well, all I know is that there's a very orange filter when Abe is on the roof of the building looking down at the park where Aaron's sitting. And I actually don't remember in the second scene of that if there's a different filter or not.
there's I
There,
noticed the filter when he's on his when he gets the second phone when Aaron gets the second phone call when they're
Mm.
outside.
Oh,
That's when I first noticed the filter, and then later on it was like dark and it was blue, but it wasn't like it shouldn't have been that
yeah, it
dark.
might.
So that's why I was
Yeah,
wondering
they
like,
might have. That would be a very interesting. I wasn't paying attention to the filters though. I did notice that was a very orange filter for a lot of the movie. Maybe it did change to blue later on once Abe uses the failsafe.
wait, does that mean that Shane time traveled
Shane.
from the director, the writer? What if he time traveled from like
Aaron.
whenever the hell? No, I'm talking about the writer. He time traveled back from like 2009 when Portal was around.
Oh, orange and blue. Goddamn.
Yeah, thinking with portals.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I had to put on my tinfoil hat for a
well,
second.
either way, it could just be that orange and blue on the opposite sides of the color wheel and they complement each other.
Yeah. I like how we didn't fully get their perspectives. Like we didn't get like a full perspective. We only got like their perspectives as best as they could.
Yeah,
Like the whole Mr. Granger. Did I say Granger?
Granger.
Granger.
yeah.
He like we just see him, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, and it's so cool that when Granger is following them in the car, Aaron actually calls Granger, and then the non-time travel Granger picks up and is there,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Did they kill the time travel Granger?
Yeah, I think they did.
Was that the implication?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it felt like they were
he was
waking
in
him
a
up, and then they
coma.
smothered him.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he like
think
went
they
into a
killed him.
vegetative state, but then they didn't offer him like any medical aid, so he couldn't
Yeah.
sustain.
Well, it
himself.
seemed like he was waking himself up, and then they covered him up again with the oxygen
Yeah.
mask.
No, that was actually Ben or that was failsafe Ben going back in time. That was Ben Prime that he was knocking unconscious.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It was.
Yeah,
weird to
but
see. Okay.
they did chase Granger off, and he fell and he hurt himself, and then he went into a vegetative state, and
Mhm.
that's what makes Abe use his failsafe. That isn't the actual failsafe. Well, it is still his failsafe, but
This
Aaron
feels
tampered with
like.
it.
Did anyone else get like? Was anyone else thinking of Tenet when watching this film?
The more I think about it, yeah, it is super like.
Yeah, it is. It is like Tenet because in Tenet you travel back in time, but you live that time again. And in this movie, you have to stay in the box the same amount of time you want to travel back in time to. And
Yeah,
that's
if
how it
anything,
works in
Primer
Tenet.
takes longer.
What?
If anything, Primer takes longer than Tenet, because Tenet, it's for every
real time.
second. Yeah, it's real time, but Primer, you have to take even more time just to go back. So time traveling takes double the amount of time just to go forward.
I think I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I could draw it.
It's also just kind of like.
I understand. I understand because you have to turn it on, wait that time, and then wait in that time again. While in Tenet, you just hop in, you start traveling back already.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, you're stuck in a.
Yeah, you have to be the wait period. Like, there's the wait period outside of the box, but then you have the wait period inside the box, and then once you're out, you have another wait period.
Yeah. Also, just my claustrophobic ass would hate being in the box.
Yeah.
What if it was the size of a building?
Maybe better, but
No, but yeah, the size of the boxes, they're like 6 feet long, and like
they're coffin sized.
Yeah, they're like coffins.
They're literally called coffins.
Oh, they are?
Aren't they called coffins?
Oh, I
No,
thought they were just
they're
referred to as the box.
Oh, I think. Okay, I thought they said coffin at one point, but I guess
Aaron compares it to a coffin.
that was it. Thank you.
Yeah. It's funny. Aaron says like that, or like Aaron and Abe, one of them says that like they thought they weren't claustrophobic.
Yeah. But yeah.
And also, it hurts. It hurts the time travel like a lot.
Yeah. It's so much better than Nolan's Don't Think when it comes to time travel. I'm going on the anti-Tenet train, I swear.
Doot.
Everyone who's listening, I finally confirmed it. I was kind of holding back. The more I think about Tenet, the more I hate it.
It's like Ad Astra all over again.
Except with this. Except with this movie, it's like the more I think about it, the more I like it.
Okay. I got a head scratcher for you guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think the movie is called Primer? Because I thought of like 3 different variations.
I was actually thinking about that, and I don't know. I know primer is like something to kick off an event. It's like a catalyst kind of thing. A primer.
Okay, that's what I didn't think of.
A primer primes something to happen.
Yeah.
And then you insert the catalyst, and that's what kicks off. But I don't know how that the only way that I think that involves is that the primer is the time travel machine that they accidentally create. That's the primer.
What you got, hon?
I genuinely can't think of anything with this one.
Okay.
I thought it was like prime timeline, and then like it's going off that. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going with. The first thing I thought of is like prime number. Like prime means original, so it's like primer, the original. It didn't make as much sense. Then I thought about like, in way back ye olden days, olden with an E at the end, when you were like teaching a kid how to read, you'd give them a primer. Like when you're teaching them.
So this movie's teaching us how to time travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the last one, the one that I like the most, my big brain theory, what do you do when you're going to paint something a different color? What's the first thing you do?
Primer.
You put primer on and then you paint over it.
And
it's so you won't see that first color. It's something to kind of erase.
Considering his next movie has the word color in it, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he was going for.
What is his next movie, actually?
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I want to. The director has a restraining order against his fiance, so I don't know if I want to keep, I learned this after I saw the movie, but, I don't know if I want to keep, supporting.
Well, do you know why there's a restraining order?
Emotional, and it was abuse against his fiance.
I mean, it's really hard to get a restraining order.
It's really hard. I know someone who needed a restraining order. Sorry,
what's the name of the second movie?
Upstream Color.
Oh my god. I've heard of that movie, and it's on my list. I didn't know it was Shane Carruth.
Fun fact, I went looking up a bunch of stuff about Shane Carruth, and he was going to have a film that was going to involve Keanu, Tom Holland, and, a bunch of other people. It never got made.
Mm.
It was, he ended up releasing it later. No, it was going to be Jeff Goldblum, Anne Hathaway, Keanu Reeves, Tom Holland, Daniel Radcliffe, Chloe Grace Moretz, Asa Butterfield, and Abraham Atta. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these.
I actually recognize quite a few of these names.
Same. And then he posted the entire script.
Yeah.
He posted the entire script in 2020 on Twitter because
it wasn't gonna
get made.
Mm.
So, and now he says in 2019 he said he was gonna make one more big thing and he's gonna leave the film industry after that. So
go back to being an engineer, I guess.
I don't know.
He has an engineering degree. He won't be struggling for work.
Yeah, he probably retire after the movies. They do well enough and they're pretty low budget.
Mm.
Anyway,
I've been trying to because when I was writing my fixes, I'd assumed we had kind of done the normal format, but maybe I can get your guys' input. Do you have any idea why Aaron fixated on the party and Rachel's ex?
Well, he felt responsible because he was the one who invited Rachel's ex to the party.
That makes sense because I was so confused about that because that's Ben, Abe.
Yeah, no, he mentioned it was mentioned only once, and then it was shown that he was the one who invited. Remember, he had to say to the guy, "Hey, invite your brother," or I think it was the dude's brother, friend, who was
his cousin.
His cousin, thank you. So yeah, that's why he just felt bad and he wanted everything to happen. But I'm wondering why he didn't just dissuade the other Aaron to not do it. Was it he worried that it would,
or prevent the cousin from pop the guy's tires?
Well,
because then he wouldn't show up.
Yeah, but then that might lead to maybe it's because it might lead to a bigger paradox. Because if you can make slight variations and everything's fine, but if you make a big one, who knows what you change?
Yeah, because in the end, Aaron in the original timeline, he does stop the ex from doing anything, nobody gets hurt, Philip or whatever,
and gets arrested.
Oh,
in the original, yeah.
He gets not Aaron. He gets the abusive guy arrested with a shotgun arrested. So
in the original version, Ed, you're right. In the last version, he did get the ex-boyfriend arrested. You guys are both right.
In the first version, I'm pretty sure he did not get arrested.
He did not get arrested in the original, Prime version, but no one got hurt and he was a hero. But in the last one, he'd finally figured out a way to make sure.
Yeah, that's when the two when Ben and Aaron finally just made a temporary truce to stop the ex of the party.
Yeah.
For such a low stakes movie, it felt really it was
low
really
stakes. Good. I mean, yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm comparing this to Tenet, which is why do I care more about?
The entire world depends on it.
The entire of all time depends on it.
Yeah, everything.
I hate those kinds of movies. I hate them.
I don't mind them, but it's just weird because Nolan wants to go for the cheap, not the cheap. He wants to go for the big scale, but he also wants to go for the personal. But he doesn't give enough time for either. He doesn't really give enough time for either. He kind of tries to bite off more than he can chew.
Inception.
Well, anyways, I was planning the way I was gonna fix that. Like, I had a whole convoluted thing. I was gonna basically switch Ben and Aaron's lives. So like Ben was the one married with a little girl. Aaron was the one dating Rachel. And I was gonna have them. Yeah, I was like, oh, put them in a duplex. So it is Laura, like the wife, who hears the rats in the attic.
She's in air quotes.
Yeah, uh, because upstairs in Aaron's attic, there's Aaron, but she's hearing a muffled version when she's up in her I don't know, her kid's room. They have a daughter. Uh, she's like, oh, it's rats in the attic, and Ben will go up there, and it's like, oh, I don't see anything. It's not their attic; it's the other attic duplex.
Good idea, but like when I was thinking mic changes, I was also thinking like with such a small scale movie, I had to think of like the budget in mind. I'm pretty sure they filmed at their own house.
Fair enough. I wasn't thinking budget in mind. I was just kind of
The low scale budget's kind of the charm of the movie too.
like I get it, but like
I think for fixing you can be flexible with the budget.
yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm just trying to think like if I were to fix it in the director's shoes with all his resources, and this is a small indie film.
Well,
Yeah,
this was
and
filmed out in
it's so
Houston.
funny. Like there were like 15 people that made this movie, and then like the credits were so short. This is
Yeah.
like here's the title of the movie. Here's Shane Carruth and David Sullivan. Right, that's his name, Sullivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the other two, and then like a couple other people, and then it's just a whole bunch of thanks to this place for allowing us to film there. Just a couple of those, and credits are over. It was like 30 seconds. Very interesting how so few
Yeah.
people made that movie.
Can I say one thing that bothers me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more. It's not about necessarily this film in particular, because I've seen it in like just storytelling in general. People have a tendency to do this, and it drives me crazy. Things will happen off screen because I've read stories where this kind of thing has happened, and this thing will be vital to plot point later, and then you're like, wait, when the hell did that happen? And the narrator, whatever medium, is just like, it doesn't matter, it happened. I hate it when they do that.
Did you
Yeah.
feel about
And
this
that
is the
happens-
Granger thing?
Yeah, that happens a lot in this movie.
Yeah,
There's vital plot points that happen where the narrator, Aaron, tells it to you. However, it is shown like later in the movie when Aaron discovers the failsafe box. At least it shows you.
But not everything is
Not
shown.
everything,
Like
yeah.
we never know when Granger went into the box. We never know what happened there. We never know like how long he was there. We don't know quite a bit of things, and we're just kind of expected to.
The only thing we know about Granger is that he found it because, Abe is dating this dude who's being weird. And then he got out of the box a little early. It's assumed that, and that's why he falls into a coma.
Wow, I feel weird because I'm usually agree with Ruthie on this. Like I hate when like certain stuff's brought up that's very important is like off screen and out of nowhere with no hints. But like I was kind of fine on this one because the whole point is that this time travel thing it can easily slip out of their hands. Like theme wise, it fits.
Yeah, but like not even with the Granger stuff, but like with like the last 20 minutes, it kind of felt like, okay, I don't need to show you that because I need to show you how smart I am. Like it's almost like I need to solve it and show it to you.
Who's the narrator who risks his family, his wife and daughter for this stupid little shit that he's doing? Shows you what kind of person Aaron is.
That's
Going
the
back
point.
to that
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
the
thing. That I
that's
like.
the point, though.
I like that Aaron has the wife and the kid, and he's the one that goes out of like proportion with this time travel thing.
And then, Abe, and then Abe's the one who wants to protect everyone. Like he wants to just make sure nothing big. He's trying to be more of a, I guess, caring for his like friends and family, while Aaron's just trying to be a hero.
Yeah, Abe cares for his friends and family, just wants to get rich. Aaron wants to use it to its fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like it's a writing philosophy for me. So like, it's like a principle. I don't want to betray it.
I get it. I'm I'm usually the same. You know me. I hate when I've called out stuff for not being hinted at before.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think this time it's fine just because it kind of fits the theme, like the theme and the ideas, which is like you're
Yeah,
gonna lose track.
I didn't think of it like that. I'm still sticking with my
No,
guns, if
that's fair.
okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. No, I totally get it.
Also, I'm gonna say something that might ruin the movie for both of you, and you can take this out. Abe/Ben looks like the long lost Paul brother.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Like Chris Paul and other Paul.
Logan and Jake Paul.
Oh, Logan and Jake Paul. Oh, god damn it. A little bit.
He looked like he looked like a younger alternate version of who's that dude from? He's like this actor.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
him.
No, don't give me shit. Give me a second. His name's like.
Are you thinking of Haymitch?
No, not a little bit of a. Looks like Woody Harrelson and what's his face. I can't find the actor, so forget it. But yeah, he looks like, I guess, a little bit like Woody Harrelson and someone else who I can't remember.
Also, I just want to confirm with you guys something. So when they're time traveling, it's like a Schrodinger's cat situation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the implication. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're going in and out of the different A and B, A and B, A and B. Yeah.
Because otherwise, there would have been one big, huge plot hole.
Yeah.
Like with Ranger.
Yeah.
'Cause if he had opened a box when one of them was in there.
Yeah, that's why they didn't pull it out at one. They didn't pull out the box at one point in case someone else was in there already.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, A B A B. Yeah, it's a Schrodinger thing. It was a fun film. I honestly really love this film.
Yeah, you mentioned it. That's why these people are geniuses. They thought of everything.
And they don't dumb it down. They're just like, we're gonna say how we say it. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say, nothing makes me not understand Primer like trying to understand Primer.
Yeah.
This movie has that kind of a effect on a lot of people. It is definitely not.
It's like
Yeah.
turning your brain into a Rubik's cube.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
If you, it's not a movie that you just watch to watch. It's a movie that you have to be intently like watching, and you have to be constantly thinking. Like, it's not one of the movies you just turn off your brain and watch, like
No.
the Hedgehog.
Hey, that was good shit.
Yeah, but it's a turn off brain fucking movie. Which
you don't want to think about the complexities of the relationship between Tom and Sonic.
You don't want to try and figure out the exact velocity a electric hedgehog needs to travel to blow out the power station of an entire city.
If you give me like a few minutes, I could actually. If you give me a few minutes, I could actually figure that out. But I'm worried I'd be on the list because I would be looking up EMP shit. Anyway, I guess there's not much else to say, right? Are we all in agreement? I know we kind of broke the usual.
I think I do have one more head scratcher.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in one of the points in the movie, this is at a point in time. It's like around 2004. So cell phones are a thing, but they aren't like smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of this movie, I was thinking like, I don't know why that could happen now. So, out of curiosity, what do you think some of the biggest changes would be if this movie like was presented for 2021? What would have to be changed?
You have to be extra careful that people don't videotape shit. Because you could probably get like.
Would they even be able to get into the hotel? Because a hotel lobby is definitely on camera.
Yeah, well, they're careful about spacing out between 6 or so hours, so they could. I mean, that was already a thing then if people paid attention, but that'd be one thing. I feel like
smartphones change it a lot.
Yeah. No, this definitely.
You'd have to like.
I feel like in the movie, Aaron travels back with his cell phone, right?
He does.
Yeah. On Thursday.
I think that would fuck things up because I don't think cell phones work the same as they did back then. Like, there's a way to track the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what would happen if there's two pings for the same phone? Would one just stop working randomly, or would it? they both stop? Like, what happens there?
I'm
Someone
sure.
calls you?
I'm sure people like hack phones to be a duplicate, so I'm sure there's already
Oh,
ways of that. But I'm sure the biggest issue is it bringing more attention because we're all hyper connected now with technology.
Well, like, would they have to like? I think what they'd probably have to do is like take out the SIM card and leave it in their present,
Mm-hmm.
and then just have to come back, pick it back up later. But even then, with current government, like with current tracking systems, that would even be kind of dangerous because your shit goes off and your shit goes off the grid for like 6 hours
Yeah.
in the same location.
Yeah.
Like if because they're the whole thing, it's like a time heist, and I kind of liked that because like throughout most of the movie, it's not like you don't see all this kind of fuckery with the party. Most of the movie is them buying low,
stock
selling
market.
high. It's like quite a bit of it's just the stock market. So they have, if they were to do a more modern setting, they're gonna have to like make sure to not really get red flags going. This isn't your mom and pop Reddit GameStop swindle right here, boyos. Pop culture reference. 7 months late.
Also, like this movie didn't give me a headache with the time travel. Every other movie does because I start thinking too hard. But with this one, it's like the right amount of thinking, and it doesn't give me it doesn't feel like I'm overthinking it, so it doesn't give me it.
I'm jealous.
No, like
I got a headache.
It's confusing. Sorry, it's confusing, but like I always overthink like every flaw. But with this one, I can't think of flaws, so I just try to understand it, and it doesn't
Yeah,
feel
because
as
they're
bad.
like I said, the time travel rules in this movie are airtight.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's a flaw here or there, but generally we're not smart. I don't think any of us are smart enough to catch it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the biggest change for this time travel thing is that it only works. You can only travel as far back as when the box is turned on, which makes
mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
Other time travel movies, there's a machine, and then you just get popped into the past with no machine there, which
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I read a book series. Their rules were a little bit similar, but you know, instead of like a machine, it's fantasy. But the main rule was however old you were when you're time traveling back is how old your body is. So you can't go back. I mean, you physically can go back to like when you're a 2 year old, but then 2 year old you has to remember why you're there and like
So you can forget.
yes, because your body regresses to the point where you were when you time traveled. So if you time traveled like however old you are and 9 months, you'd be an embryo.
That reminds me of the inverse of that,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Kingdom Hearts time travel.
Oh no.
Which is so messed up. If you travel, let's say you travel to the future, right?
As you do.
You get sent to you can travel to the future. You send your heart to the future. You can mess around, dick around the future. But then if you die or you go back, you either die and you go back, or you just go back willingly.
Mm-hmm.
You forget everything you did right before that, so it doesn't create a paradox.
Somehow.
He put no thought into this, which is anyway. That's the whole Kingdom Hearts series, but
I saw a video of the Kingdom Hearts like timeline, and I'm like, oh my fuck.
Yeah, no, it's a mess. Anyway, sorry, I just want to get into that. I just remembered when Ruthie was saying that.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's like, that's one of the two things I remember about that book series.
You remember the name?
I think it's like Eric Rex or something.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he could turn into a T-Rex, or he had like T-Rex abilities.
That's kind of neat.
I think it's the same series.
Well,
so are we gonna rate this film?
Well, yeah, I didn't have a lot of fixes. Just I don't know of a way to make when the failsafes get involved be less convoluted. I think maybe just showing the scenes more, or having like I don't know, like follow the timeline before Aaron first time travels, because the movie starts with Aaron already time traveling, right? Follow that timeline and then go up to where Aaron finds the failsafe.
I think if you
And
just show
then-
Aaron finding the failsafe, it would stop a lot of the confusion.
Yeah, but like follow the timeline up until that point where Aaron finds the failsafe, and then start it again.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make it better and keep the mystery of the whole thing going. Don't show the failsafe. Show that maybe in the thing of the. He mentioned like a receipt that had like 2 rooms.
Yes.
It was right next. It was next to it. Just show the second room.
2 rooms.
As soon as you mention the failsafe, our mind should instantly reel. If we are able to keep track of everything that's going on, it should be fine.
But here's the thing, like, there's a lot you already have to keep track of in this movie.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
Headache inducing. So, like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Another way you could do it, although this would probably make it more convoluted, you start with Aaron finding the failsafe and then him going back. I don't know. Just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, but then it ruins the twist of the failsafe. I'm trying to find a way to keep the failsafe twist because I did like the failsafe twist.
I know, that's why I said just start with the prime Aaron and prime Abe, and then go up failsafe, and then when you start over, you can like skip over some stuff.
Maybe.
Since the movie starts off with Aaron already time traveling, Aaron already knows all the conversations. It's the same movie still. It's just like actually prime Aaron finally discovering.
Ruthie has one.
The ultimate viewing experience. Have either of you guys seen Clue on DVD?
Oh my god, no.
I know it's a different ending each time you watch it.
Yes. So what you do is you sell a very convoluted CD or DVD in this case because it's the video, and you can, when you go to hit play movie, you can do the first movie, which is the whole thing, then the timeline 1, then the timeline 2.
I have a way to make it worse.
Oh yeah?
Procedurally generate the order of the movie.
Procedurally generate.
It's different for everyone every time. I think there's a game called about that. It's like 10 Sentinels or something. I haven't played it, but it's like a mech game that's also like a visual novel mystery that involves time travel, and it's similar. People are saying it's also really solid time travel. I'm gonna have to play it. I'm gonna rate this movie like a 9.
Out of 10?
I think it's an 8.5 or a 9.
Letter grade? So like A?
B plus to A minus. I don't know. It depends on the day. B plus to A minus. Something about the movie just surprised me, and I really enjoy that it thinks I'm up to the challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't. It respects the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit too much.
I'm gonna give it a B. The audio, it did not respect me. It trashed me. I got as many headaches as there are goddamn timelines.
By I mean it respects the audience. It doesn't dumb it down and hold your hand.
I wish it did. I had headaches, plural.
Yeah, and that's why I think it respects us a little bit too much.
I didn't peer pressure you to give it a higher grade, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's just not my shit. I like watching stupid movies to make fun of them. This movie watched me to make fun of me. You know? And I'm offended.
It's an A for me. A for me. Great movie. Very convoluted. Before we end, there's this webcomic called XKCD. You should look at their movie timeline comic. It involves Primer and a couple other movies. Yeah.
I said I was going to earlier, so I'm honoring that. If you are still struggling to follow the plot of the movie, 1, I don't blame you. 2, I recommend you Googling "This is Barry" and then Primer, because that gives a very detailed explanation of like the plot at every timeline. I would also recommend, if you're more of a visual person, London City Girls animated illustration of the plot on YouTube. It makes it very easy. It's illustrated.
Yeah. If you don't have time for a video, actually just Google like Primer timeline. Go to
there's
images,
that little graphic,
and it's the very first one that is
well, depending on your algorithm.
The Wikipedia has it, I think. I know what you're talking about. Wikipedia has it too.
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of like really weird timeline things or Primer, but that very first one with like the blue and yellow on it, very, very good in my opinion. And there's
Keep in
another
mind-
infographic for how time travel exactly works in that movie. Well, it's the one that has like several straight lines that are blue and yellow, and it has. a
Oh,
lot
so
of
it's color
description.
coordinated.
Yes. Well, it's not completely
Okay.
color coordinated, but it's very neat compared to other ones.
Compared to the plot of the movie, got it.
Yeah. Compared to other infographics that you see here, it is very neat. What are we watching next time?
Join us next time for Jiu-Jitsu.
Starring Nick Cage.
Again, my second movie starring in a row that has Nick Cage.
We're connoisseurs, okay?
We should have Pig, but the Pig's too good.
No, how would you fix
Pig is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
No.
right. How would you fix Pig?
Yeah, Pig. Also, if you haven't seen Pig, that's a good one. Oh, has anyone seen anything new interesting that you guys want to give a shout out to?
I wanted to give a shout out to London City Girl. Thank you for unheadaching me.
The Green Knight requires multiple viewings.
Oh, what would you rate it?
It requires multiple viewings.
Okay.
I can't grade it yet.
I finally saw Swiss Army Man.
Oh, Color Out of Space.
And Color Out of Space.
Another
Nick Cage film, yeah. I saw Color Out of Space. Swiss Army Man, really nice and charming. I'll give it like a 7 point.
His face together.
We did not see it
Color
together.
Out of Space. You saw it without us.
Oh.
I'll give Swiss Army Man like a 7 or 7.5. But it was like it was special, but like I don't know, something kind of held it back. But I did like it.
It was good up until the end.
I like the end, but but different opinion. Also, Color Out of Space was like fucking bananas. Like
it is
like an 8.
insane.
Yeah.
God, that movie was insane. Nick Cage was just like perfect.
It does not. It follows the short story kind of.
Adjacently.
It's adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah, it adds a few things, especially the creature.
Yeah.
The spooky.
Yeah, join us next time for Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu starring Nick Cage. Let's go.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.